What the heck? Hey, what's up? You're watching Unboxing Thursday. Tonight we are live with the Nameless Toy Company, and they're talking about their Kickstarter, the Space Zombies from Mars. So stay tuned, enjoy the show, and come help support some Canadian toy homies. DK, roll it.
What's today? It's Thursday.
Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one.
Let's,
Do you see all the name?
Let's try though. Let's still try.
I just knocked over a whole bunch of stuff. What's up, everyone? My name's Kevin, aka Toying Around. You're watching Unboxing Thursdays, episode 242. If this is your first time here, what we do every week is we get to open some toys, some of the latest and greatest. And of course, we get to do that with you in the chat. And of course, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, DK. What's up, man?
Hello, my good sir.
Ooh.
Hello, Butter Nation.
What's up?
Not much, man. Gonna talk some, space zombie from Mars right now.
We're gonna
Looking
bring them
forward to
on, and I'm excited because this isn't the first time, but we'll have a good crew. I'll go further into that, but man, we're talking today like San Diego Comic-Con is in a few months, and I don't know, chat. I want people to chime in if you can. Like, how do you feel about if you're traveling to the US to go? I have a few reservations right now. Started with like a lot of the planes. Have you seen the video where there's one plane that was ready to land? No.
Okay.
It's not a drinking game. One plane was ready to land, and then it saw another plane getting ready to take off. So the one landing was like, whoop, I'm out of here. And it went back into the air to avoid that one.
This was recent?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no,
Like,
I didn't.
yeah,
That one I didn't see.
So that and like some of the deportation stuff, it's crazy, man. I'm kind of worried. Is it worth it just for Comic-Con? I know it's your first time, right?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Going to be your
worried.
first time.
Yeah, it's going to be my first time. I'm shitting bricks, but like I don't know. Like,
okay, you know what?
I'm
Here
worried right
we're gonna try something right before we bring our guests on. Okay, I'm gonna be American Customs. You in your usual no. Like, don't mess this up. If you stutter or slip, that's it. You're going to.
That's how I talk.
Well, they don't know that. All right. Okay, you're coming up to the counter.
Okay.
Passport, please.
Okay. Here you go.
Not off to a good start. What's your purpose of this visit?
Pleasure. I don't know.
Jesus. Would you care to expand on that, son?
I gotta go to a convention. Gotta look at toys.
That
and
you're
film.
flying all the way to America to look at toys and film? Are you here for business?
Yeah. No, not business. For pleasure.
Okay. That, you know what? Take this paper, go to that line over there.
Okay.
And that's it. DK, you're done. That's it. That's the last time I see you.
Cool. All right.
You need to practice this. Jeez.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna get detained. I'm gonna so get detained.
What if I wrote down answers for you and you pretend that?
That'd be funny. It'd be like,
Actually, no. Pretending English is your second language might be to your disadvantage.
no, it's gonna be like Homer.
Hello, Murphy. All right.
Like
You know what?
Yeah.
I want to get the opinions of the two gentlemen joining us tonight, also hailing from Canada. They are here representing the Nameless Toy Company. Their Kickstarter, The Space Zombies from Mars, is live right now on Kickstarter. You can go back it now, later, preferably now, and we're going to look at into detail, who some of these people are, what's going on with the toys, and let's bring on Arlin and Adam to the show.
Hello,
Gentlemen.
hello,
Thank you for tuning
DK.
in.
I'm sorry. I don't know that you're gonna get on that plane.
I'm gonna, for sure, 100%. It's either
There was like 4 times I was like, yeah, no, that the hesitation, and then the no.
Yeah, no, yes. Pleasure.
I'm back here laughing hysterically to myself, trying to like get it together because I know I'm probably going to be jumping on in a sec.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. You don't have to.
I'm about to get on a plane on Sunday, and I'm having the same feelings. I'm like,
Where are you off to? Or
I'm going to WonderCon.
Oh, you're going to WonderCon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
With,
to the SDCC Kid Sister show.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But hey, Adam, Arlin,
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
I know this, Arlen. This is, we just kind of got introduced today, but based on what you saw, how very little you know of DK, how do you think he would fare at
Oh, he's not making it.
Yeah.
Can you,
Oh yeah.
Now here's my question, Kevin. Are you guys traveling together?
Yes.
Is there a way you can pitch that he's like your mute friend or something, and that you can speak on behalf of him? And like,
Where's the medical papers? We got to fake medical papers now.
I mean, I've tried that in the
don't
at
do
the
that.
clubs, and it works for him. Back when we go. No,
Don't
I'm
fake
kidding.
medical papers.
Stop faking.
That might be worse.
Right, but yeah, Adam,
He's my therapy pet. That's what it is.
he's a Make-A-Wish.
Oh, we're bringing it back.
What about he has Tourette's? He doesn't know what he's saying. He just says things sometimes. He doesn't, like, if you ask him a question, let him answer it fully. You know what I don't know.
I'll just start shouting out Transformer names.
He has a very specific Tourette's.
That might work. All right. Adam, you're on social media, highly articulated. You've been on the channel before. It's great to see you. Not that I'm saying we don't want to hear from you, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, Arlen, we know maybe myself and maybe some of the viewers who aren't more familiar. Before we get to the company part, like, are you a toy guy yourself? Like, what are you into collecting, Arlen?
Oh, this is a tough question. I don't really collect toys.
Okay.
I collect the ones that I have worked on mostly.
Okay.
Part of it is to see how they turned out. The other part is that maybe my kids one day would be interested in it. I love the art of toys. I love sculpting toys.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, unfortunately, I guess I don't necessarily collect them.
That's cool. I mean, it's a show about action figures, and you're sculpting them. You're involved in the design.
Yeah, it's my full-time job. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Professionally, 10 years this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Started with Hasbro, 10 years ago.
He only collects toys that he has sculpted, but he has a lot of toys.
Okay, so what's the earliest one that you recall? The first one that kind of went into production. Do you remember which one it was?
Oh, it was a Littlest Pet Shop figure. I don't know. I did Disney princess stuff for the first 3 years, doing like small dolls, heads, like high heel shoes, bags, crowns, stuff that I don't share, but that's kind of where I guess you'd say I cut my teeth. I was into it because I have 3 daughters that were very little and into those toys at the time. So every time I was like, I'm working on this, they'd be like, that's so cool, Dad. Now they're like, I don't care. Whatever, Dad.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'll go into like Toys R Us and I'll be like, oh, hey, look, I sculpted that superhero guy. And they'd be like, oh yeah, but look at this over here, Dad. This is way cooler.
Is it because the character itself, or it's just the age where they're like, oh, it's just Dad?
I think it's just Dad. I remember being a kid and my dad built a car from scratch and I'm being like, oh yeah, cool. Every dad does that. No big deal. I think it's that kind of thing.
Wow. No dads I know do that. That's like in a zombie apocalypse. I want to be that person.
Yeah. But as a kid, you see it every day.
Skills. Like, what am I going to do? Maybe if it's one of those where there's like a broadcast message and it says like, hey, survivors, come to this base. I could maybe do something like that.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, do some skits.
They're like, we're here. What now? And you're like, I didn't.
You're like, let's talk about toys.
You guys want to unbox something?
Yeah, you're here. They're like, what are toys? I'll trade this. I can cook. Maybe that would be useful in
That's
that
useful.
scenario. Yeah,
Definitely useful.
perfect. All right, that's super cool. So you're 10 years designing toys. Anything? Is there anything that you like? You can say that you did of recent times that people might be familiar with? I don't know what your what kind of NDAs or anything that you kind of have to say or cannot
I
say.
can't say anything that is not out. Yeah.
Well, anything that is out that people would know?
That is just out?
When-
Uh,
Anything recent times.
this guy?
There it is.
There it is.
Very cool. So that's very recent. That's just hitting shelves within
Yeah,
the
I
last
just
few
picked it up.
weeks. Okay, cool. But if you're not a collector, what kind of are you into, like any other properties, like geeky culture, movies, comics, things like that?
I'm into it all, and I actually I love looking at, I will sit for hours looking at action figures. Part of it is I don't have space, honestly. But I'm into Marvel, Star Wars. I'm into it all. Yeah.
He's literally the responsible version of all of us.
Yes.
He's when we say, "Oh, I don't have space. I don't know if it's in the budget." He's the guy that actually goes, "I don't have space. I'm not buying it." Not, "I don't have space. I'll buy it and then worry about that later."
But I'll spend tens of thousands of dollars on this stuff.
That's fine.
That's cool too.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
That's your thing. Adam, does that do you think that quality for Arlin is critical in the business sense? Does that help out at all?
I mean, I'm the irresponsible spender when it comes to my collection, but I'm the one that shuts down. Like, we should spend nothing on this.
It's like I don't want a keyboard. We don't need a keyboard.
Yes, I'm like the opposite in business that I am in life, I guess. Is the easiest way to sort of look at that. But no, Arlin is so humble, and Arlin has sculpted so many amazing figures. Anybody that's watching this can kind of look at their collection and compare that to Arlin's Instagram account, and they'll be like, "Oh wait, I have that, and I have that, and I have that, and I have that." Like, there's so many amazing figures that he sculpted that he just kind of never says anything about, and up until fairly recently didn't post that often. And I was like, you got to post more. Like, everything you sculpt, you should post so that people see what you've done. But I mean, he's done Classified, he's done Marvel Legends, he's done Black Series, he's done Mezco.
I actually haven't done Black Series. It's the Vintage Series.
Vintage Series.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I said? He's done Vintage Series. He's done Animal Warriors.
You can edit this.
He's done, he's done Star Wars. Okay, just Star Wars. He's done Star Wars stuff.
That's super cool, man. Yeah.
And then Naughty or Nice.
Transformers.
He's done his own stuff. Transformers. It's like across the spectrum. And the crazy part is,
everything.
Everybody in the industry, in the sort of toy making, small little community that it is, when I mention Arlin's name, they're like, "Oh, he's fantastic. His sculpts are great. He's super professional, super easy to deal with and work with." And I'm like, "You know a different Arlin than I do." No, I'm just kidding. He's super easy to work with. But it's like, it's crazy how much he's done, considering how few people kind of know his name in collector circles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
But that's how he wants.
I don't
it,
say
so
I
let's
know
not talk about
everybody,
it.
right? Like, there are a lot of names of sculptors that you see in circulation, right? And so, yeah, I mean, that's cool. To meet a name that isn't as in the spotlight, or that that's always shown, but that you've done so much and for so long too. So, and of course now doing your own thing here. I want to get into kind of like how the Nameless Toy Company started up in a second. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to the channel members who are here watching live right now. They've got some great. Well, you know what? If you have questions for the boys, write them in the comments. But I want to say thank you for being here. Thursday night we can talk some toys. Thank you for being here. We have channel members, Bat Force Grumps. Hello there, toys. No, Winger Loses here says hello there. Collecting Brothers, thank you for sharing this on IG. Allison Troy's here. Good to see you. Tommy K, Mr. Ryan Clark, Toy Rensu, a couple of Canadians there. Is that 3 in a row? No, only 2. Bad Wolf Media is here. Thank you for being a channel member. Josh Brown, Chris Babinski. Thank you for being here. Josh Brown says back the space zombies from Mars. We're going to leave that one up there. Another Canadian, Taco Boy. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you for your support. Grumps. What's up, Grumps? And did I get everyone? Bitter Troll. Thank you for being here. D Sertle. Highly articulated. DK, did you get some good comments?
I got some good comments.
Jonathan Gutierrez here. Mr. Ryan Dole from beautiful British Columbia. Where are you guys located again? Adam, you're in
Beautiful British Columbia.
okay, in Arlin.
Same. Yeah, Vancouver Island.
I heard I was watching you guys on Toy Anxiety the other day, and they couldn't figure out what the island was. And I was like, yeah, the movie with Ewan McGregor. Wait, TK, was that the island where they escape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it him and ScarJo?
Yep.
Yeah, it was that.
And then
I was
Sean
listening.
Bean-
It takes
Bean
place.
was
Yeah, it
villain.
takes place on Vancouver Island. That's why it's called that.
Well,
I
when
wonder. I'm curious how far west you have to get before the island is Vancouver Island and not Prince Edward Island.
Well, it's the other way around, right?
What do you mean the
There's-
other way around?
No.
yeah, expand on that.
Like
well,
you go east until you get to Canada?
No, Adam, let him.
well, we're assuming that, like, we're just going towards the direction of the island, like Vancouver Island, right? So we're just heading west, right? So you're not going to hit the other island, PEI, if you're heading west. Does that make sense?
I know in
I
your head
think
it does.
Yeah, I've watched you work through logic puzzles like this before. I think I
All right.
understand what you're saying.
Deport him back to Canada. We don't want
Okay,
this.
all
We don't
right,
want this in the US. Yo, what's
No,
up,
what I was saying is like, what province do you think refers to Vancouver Island as the island? How far west
Oh,
do you go before you're not thinking of Prince Edward Island as the island?
I don't know.
Which
When
is
you
the night, which is a Canadian island on the East Coast for anybody that's watching that doesn't have any idea what we're talking about
the
whatsoever.
island part 2. That's what it is.
when Arlen said it on Tuesday, and he was like the island, and they said, "What's the island? What's the island?" And I was like, "Jamaica." And my wife just called me stupid. I'm like, it's possible. I don't know. Yoko is here. What's up, Yoko? Jason or Nigel is here. All right. So Adam, you're involved with AWOC, right, and Spiro, and so that's your kind of your experience with toys currently too. So how does that come together? And you have another member of the team, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Arlen's brother Ira is also involved. Arlen and Ira came up with the lore. The two of them did the soundtrack. The two of them together are Prometheus, the band. So that's where the soundtrack came from. But I knew Arlen, as a sculptor of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and I had reached out to him to try to get him on a video, to try to sort of get people to know who he was, and his very polite response was, "I'm not interested." so I've been trying to get him on videos for, I don't know, like a year, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my comfort zone. I don't know what to say.
No, I know, I get it.
It's not like an easy thing. I mean, oh yeah, you know what? I'll let DK talk.
It's not my comfort
Yeah,
zone
go ahead.
either,
T.
Arlen. Yeah,
This
no,
one-
I am freaking out every time I'm live. So yeah,
Okay.
I can relate.
You're not selling this idea though.
No.
Like you're not helping.
But it gets
me get him
easier.
to do
It gets
more
easier.
videos.
It gets easier. That's how I'm
Yeah,
just-
it gets easier, right? Like you kind of just settle in and you kind of figure out what works. And I am, believe it or not, a very introverted person. It didn't come naturally to me, and it still doesn't. It still feels, and I mean, Arlen and I, have had conversations where I'm not on a YouTube video, and you know, he can attest to the fact that me on video is kind of a different version of
Yeah.
me off of a video.
You scared me the first time.
Because
What happened the first time?
well, I
He was
just
just
have
like,
a different
"Hey!"
energy level, and I have kind of a different, like, it's not a, you know, it's not a character, it's not a bit, but like I just kind of, I've worked in retail for so long that I can kind of switch on like
Oh, that's true.
the outward kind of extrovert version of myself. And so I totally understand when Arlen's like, I'm not inclined to do videos. I totally get it.
I've been on
Just
a
want him
TV
to
show
do more.
before, like on
Wait,
and I still didn't love it.
what do you mean you've been on what kind of TV show?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, now you have to explain.
I was on a. Do you guys know what the show
Oh,
Halloween Wars is?
Well, you
Is
just
that my
went
internet?
full robot, Kevin.
I'm lagging.
Yeah, I think I lied
Yeah.
too a bit.
Okay. Do you guys know what the show Halloween Wars is, though?
No.
No.
Okay, it's like a Food Network show.
Okay.
Where I can't believe I'm saying this right now. Where you, don't
DK
don't
Google.
anyone
People-
Google this.
so many
please.
people
No,
are searching
DK
for it right
don't
now.
Google this,
Lone
please.
job is to Google, please.
Yes.
No.
So I was part of we were a team. You have a baker, a candy artist, and a pumpkin carver, and I was the pumpkin carver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you required to kind of narrate what you were doing as you were doing it, or literally just in the background?
Yeah, you would have to be like, you'd have to talk and have energy and do all the things that I'm not good at.
Dude, do you want me to take you off the big window? 'Cause I hear you inhaling so hard.
Stressing out.
All right. You know,
Mhm.
I'm gonna. So is that why kind of Adam? Like, how did that grow from? No, I don't want to go
Right,
on camera
yeah,
with
right,
you. To
yeah.
where you're at now. Take us there, Adam.
Right. So
right.
I had reached out to Arlin. He and I had sort of chatted a little bit about, you know, him being on a video, him basically saying, "Oh, I don't have time, like maybe in a month," or like what, you know, just kind of giving me the runaround, and but then I was sort of like, you know what, if you don't want to, like I won't make you do a video. I'm not trying to like bully you into something. Until, you know, they asked me to sort of join the company. At which point I was like, you're gonna have to do videos now. The bullying starts today. There's no way that you can not do any of these videos. And he's been, you know, very great and gracious with his time, and he's done a bunch of these now. And I don't think he's any more comfortable now than he was when we did the first one, which is fine. But
I'm trying.
no, I met him for the first time in person at Joe Fest last year,
Okay.
and I knew him through Animal Wars of the Kingdom, and he had, to the best of my knowledge, and you know, he can jump in at any point and correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but he had effectively reached out to Jason from Animal Wars of the Kingdom and said, do you mind if we, without telling him, put him through like a job interview? And Jason said, no, absolutely. Like, you know, he's great. He's handsome. He's witty and charming. By all means, you're probably
He
gonna
didn't say
want him on
any
your
of
team.
those things.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Great timing,
Um,
Arlen. You know what? If you're not comfortable,
Now
that's
you
great timing.
speak up.
Yeah.
There are some things I can't stand.
Yeah.
No, but you know, we had brunch one day, and we had, you know, a couple drinks, and you know, the questions that him and Ira were asking me were very specific and very targeted to like, how would you start a toy line, and what would you do, and you know, would you go Kickstarter, would you offer it to retailers, like how would you go about this? And it felt weird, but you know, I know now that they were basically interviewing me for the job, and we were, unbeknownst to us, on the same flight to Joe Fest. And then once we'd met at Joe Fest, we figured out that we were on the same flights home. So we had a layover in Calgary, and you know, had a couple beers and a burger kind of thing. And they were like, hey, we think, you know, the two of us and you, being me, should start this toy company, and we should sort of launch this thing. And I was like, I am all in, but I have to ask my wife. and make sure that she will
Hell
allow
yeah, I'll
me.
dedicate 100% of my time to this. Let me check with my wife. No, I feel you. Yeah.
And so I came home and I was like, hey. She was like, oh, how's the show? And I was like, yeah, it was great. You know, some new opportunities opened up. She's like, what is it? Like,
What have you done now?
Yeah,
I didn't buy
exactly.
anything, but
No, but she was very much on board, and she said, you know, if you want to do it, you know, it's a great opportunity, and so now here we are, and I think she might be regretting her decision.
But we're thankful that she said yes.
Nice.
She's amazing, and I'll shout her out now, and I'll probably shout her out at the end as well. She's basically been a single mom for the last couple weeks, until the end of the campaign. You know, I'm just kind of busy with stuff every night, replying to comments and emails and doing videos and stuff like that. And so I get home from work and then I, say goodnight to my kids at like 5:30 in the afternoon and come into my office and do all this stuff. So she's been amazing. And it's largely because of her that I'm able to have the time to do this. So
hey, shout outs to all the supportive partners.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. Hey, but speaking of the Kickstarter, we have it here. Let's talk about it. It's live right now, 11 days to go. For the first time, me showing a Kickstarter in Canadian dollars makes sense. Usually I have to convert on the fly for people, but this is a Canadian-based Kickstarter. But who wants to give the what this is all about? You mentioned there's music behind it. There's already lore and story. Arlin, do you want to take it because this is kind of from the creative perspective, or do you prefer Adam? Because
Adam does a great job.
So good looking.
He's so good looking. He's so
see, I told
so
you.
well read.
yeah.
All right, you have the floor, man.
All right, so this is a 6-inch action figure line from concepts and designs that Arlin came up with. They scale perfectly with your G.I. Joe Classified, your Operation Monster Force, your Marvel Legends, everything like that. The lore behind this is that this Kickstarter takes place during Red Dust 2, so it's a mission to Mars. It's an exploratory mission to attempt to colonize Mars for human habitation. There was a previous mission to Mars, Red Dust 1, that launched in the 60s, but shortly after launch, communication was lost, and as far as anybody knows, they never made it there.
Oh, okay.
So then, we get the Kickstarter, you get the action figures. We're going to have a 32-page comic book that goes with this. We have a soundtrack that Arlin and Ira recorded, which is fantastic. It's super, super fun. I listened to it just on repeat while I was setting up the Kickstarter to sort of just get in the mindset of the whole vibe of this. So it's just a really, really fun concept, and it's a really, really cool idea. Nobody's really doing astronauts. There's zombies here and there, but I've seen people say like, oh, I got those what if zombies, and now I can pick up a couple more zombies to go with those. G.I. Joe Classified collectors, you could pick up Guy Garrison, which is our military astronaut in green, get a couple of those and do head swaps, grab a couple of the blue astronauts and do head swaps and do some Cobra astronauts.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot of crossover here. I think there's a lot of potential for people that are kind of into, a whole bunch of different lines to find something that they're really going to love.
Is there like, do you have any inspirations for this kind of backstory? Because that thing itself is cool. It's a second mission. You already dropped in the middle of it, right? Because some stuff already happened. And I haven't read anything. I don't know anything, but I'm already building stories in my head of what it could be. So are there any like, is it like Alien and inspiration or, any other things like that?
Oh, there's so many different inspirations from all over the place. Definitely Aliens. It's always good.
Yeah.
But I would say not so much sci-fi inspiration for me personally, was more of just like not old, but older, 80s, 90s horror movies with like zombie movies and like the prosthetics and how everything was done. It took a lot of the aesthetics from that, really. That's why a lot of it's kind of based in that. And then the idea of having that first mission gives us the more retro style astronauts.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah. So there's with each figure, what kind of stuff, you can see all the pack out here, the loadout. Adam, what kind of, can you give us some of the highlights that you have here?
Yeah, so for all of the astronauts, you get a really nice loadout. What you see all in color there is what you get as of right now. What you see in the shadows are stretch goals, unlock goals. So there's a extra hands pack in, and then there's a zombie parts pack in. So as we sort of get over the sort of threshold financially to sort of include those are going to be packed in with the figure with no additional charge to anybody that backs these figures.
Can I ask, is this silhouette someone with baby dreadlocks? Because that might be like a Jamaican Kevin head. You know what? You don't.
Well, you're the
can say that it's
second
not
person
that.
to say that. You're the second person to say baby dreadlocks. However, that is something that we haven't revealed yet, but I do happen to have it on my desk, so I can show you what it actually is.
I have the painted version.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
So that is a zombie that has had an unfortunate run-in with that not alien blaster rifle that comes with Guy Garrison.
I was going to say a zombie with a nosebleed.
Derek.
Something like that.
Why would he have a nosebleed? Because the air's too dry on Mars? Like,
well, could be.
Yeah. How is the moisture level actually? I don't know. He can grow mushrooms. What? Who is it on that Mars movie?
The Martian.
Affleck?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
I always mix it up. I think it was artificial water. Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. So Guy Garrison, I love the almost like classic comic book alliteration name, just like your classics. Grump says Jamaican Kevin who doesn't eat beef patty crust. I'll tell you, I got some really good patties in the last week, and I ate the crust. I didn't get cocoa bread because that's just too much bread. Okay, let's not get nuts. Okay.
All the just getting back to what I was saying. I don't mean to interrupt because your dislike of crust, I relate to 100%. I stand with you, Kevin, as a non-crust eater of pizza.
Team no crust. Here we go.
I have a gluten intolerance, and I will tolerate. Tolerate pizza to the point where there's no toppings on it, and then that's just bread, and that's just a bad idea.
That is
then I
a beach.
Feed it to dogs and things like that, as it should be done with.
Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Which part? Where do you want me to?
Astronauts.
Show? Yes.
Yeah. So all the astronauts come with unique accessories that are sort of suited to their faction, to their sort of group, to their sort of aspect of the mission. So Guy Garrison is our military astronaut, so he comes with weapons. The other three astronauts, by all accounts, don't really come with weapons as such. Julia Stryker is our science officer, and she comes with the sort of mechanical claws. Those are going to be fully articulated, so you're going to be able to have a pinching action as well as some articulation in the arm so that it can kind of get posed up the way that you want. And we've shown this before, but I'll show it again. So I have the claw arm here, but I also have the shadowed part that is this gory head. And the claw actually will...
No way.
Not this one, because this one is 3D printed, but this one's not articulated. This will clamp onto the head, and the head's actually sculpted to have the claws.
Dude, there's even... So you can key it in, and there's even...
Yep.
Like the ridges of the claw in there, I can see.
That is correct.
That's cool.
Wow.
And then all the sort of gore guts parts are done in like a red translucent plastic, so they'll be extra gory.
Although the neck is separate now, so you can use the neck and the head on different heads and whatnot now.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. And just super fun. Like, just, like, there's a lot of action figures that you get like you get what you expect, and it's like, oh, this figure comes with this accessory because that's what he should come with, and all that kind of stuff. And like these are just a little bit different and a little bit more unique. Julia Stryker also comes with a camera, also comes with some red painted rocks because she, you know, in a previous, you know, non-astronaut life, she was a school teacher. So she had students paint her some red rocks that she keeps as a souvenir. So just a lot of really, really cool stuff going on with these figures.
Does the backpack, do anything? Like, do weapons hang off of it or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. So all the the backpacks have ports, you know, on either side as well as on the back. Right there. These ports here. This one has a little plug in it. So there's these little modular plugs that can plug into all the little ports. So you won't actually see open, you know, ports when you don't have those set up. You can either put, you know, the hose that comes in there or the claws or whatever. Like all those ports are going to be sort of standardized across the line and you know, compatible with other things that sort of use a similar size port. So you'll be able to kind of modify and kind of customize your stuff so that, you know, if you get these claws, it was actually Machu who pointed out that like if you have these claws and they plug into the backpack and it's the same port as on the torso of the astronaut, couldn't you plug them into the chest of your astronaut? And I was like, right, I guess you could.
Yeah, if they're all the same size port, right? Okay. And I see there's an alternate head there. Is there a story for that head, or is it just to give you the ability to make a different science officer?
That's there to sort of just add to the collection. So if you want to do, you know, multiple figures, you don't, you know, we have kind of the 4 main named astronauts. At this time, I don't believe any of the alternate heads have names, but who knows? Maybe they will at some point. Maybe we'll drop that in there somewhere, just to, like, add something. But yeah, as of right now, they don't have names. They're just, you know, alternate faces, so you can get another science officer, another you know, military, medical, or engineer. So,
and I assume like that would work with other figures in the line too, right? There'd be the same.
Yeah, it was just meant to. It's basically just meant to be able to build out your army if you really want to build an army of astronauts, or not an army, but you know what I mean, a crew, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it just gives more variety, right? And then if people want to get multiple suits and just an extra head that comes with it, you can make a whole different character. Very, very cool.
Yeah, and you know, to sort of further that point a little bit more, you know, we have 4 main astronauts apart from the retro one, which is kind of the bad guy. And the 4 main astronauts, you get the military guy that comes with a more sort of, you know, anonymous masked face if you want to sort of army build or troop build that one. But then you have 1 other male astronaut, 2 other female astronauts, and the male astronaut comes with a female head, and the 2 female astronauts come with male heads. So you've got sort of lots of options there. But you know, in theory, you have the possibility of having 3 different unique female head sculpts. So just to make sure that women were represented in the line. You know, they're right there from day one.
Very cool. I dig it. We're gonna do some ad reads later, so I need DK to warm up his reading skills a bit. Can you give us the backstory, DK, for Julia Stryker?
Julia Stryker, a scientist with a big heart. Many members of the medical division are students of Julia's. She loves to collect rocks and takes photographs. Perhaps she can get a photo of that weird, creepy, glowing cave we've heard so much about.
Very good. Very good. I like the little film camera. Looks like a film camera that she comes with too.
Yeah.
We have a red Walker military. Oh, look at that crushed face of that, or what do you call it? The visor of the helmet. Hold on, I got you.
What button is that?
Yeah, so that's the crushed visor. Lots of sort of sculpted details. Actually, the other one that I have is better, I think. This one looks better. The screen looks better. There you go. Yeah, it's a little tidier. Yeah, so you get like sculpted cracks and stuff like that in there. And Arlin's actually improved this since this one was done. But very, very cool. And the visor will flip up, like the visors open and close.
So
If
this is like, not only is it a lot of detail and sculpt, but like there's a lot of functional movable parts
Mhm.
that has
Yeah.
been, feels like very thoughtfully included
Mhm.
into the accessories. So is this Red Walker, is this a separate kind of figure you get? Is it just with what it just you see here?
Yeah, it's more of a basic offering. So you get the Red Walker, which is the zombies, and then he comes with that alternate helmet with the smashed, you know, visor.
Yep.
And then once the unlocks sort of get to the zombie parts pack in will unlock those two alternate heads that come with the zombie as well. And then one of the cool features about this line, if you go back up to the astronaut, you see that there's sort of an extra limb packed in.
Yep.
You can see there, it's a leg. I mean, we're at the point where we're not pretending it's not a leg anymore.
Very fooling. It's it's like
And so the arms and the legs are interchangeable between the astronauts and the zombies. So if you want zombie parts on your astronaut, or you want more astronaut parts on your zombie,
right.
You can absolutely go ahead and swap those.
It's very
It'll still have
modular.
like a mushroom type peg, so it'll
Okay.
be a nice tight fit. And ultimately, heating them up will make it that much easier to do it. But you're going to be able to sort of swap arms and legs and hands and things, so that if you do want to have a big zombie horde, you can effectively mix and match parts and kind of build out your zombie horde without having super cookie cutter, like here's the zombie and you have 10 of the same ones. Like
Right.
you'll get alternate heads, you'll get the alternate limbs, and you'll be able to kind of
That's great
just
because
do a lot of fun stuff with them.
yeah, because you don't want 10 zombies with like only the right pant leg ripped
Yeah,
off. Like, did they
exactly.
walk in a line down a very narrow hallway with like a jagged pipe and it just took off uniformly that
Yeah,
pant leg?
exactly.
And they're all just like, ugh. No, you can have one wearing shorts, if you swap some of the
Summer
legs.
zombie.
Yeah. Variety. We had a question from Bad Wolf Media. Oh, sorry. I just cock blocked your message there, DK. How does the BBTS pre-order work with the Kickstarter, assuming it's something you want to share? Do the pre-order count? I don't even know how that works with other Kickstarters. Is that something you guys want to talk about, or do you want to leave that to?
Yeah, absolutely we
Yeah,
do.
sure.
It's so Big Bad Toy Store and E-Collectibles have these figures up for pre-order now, because they are two retailers that we have a massive amount of respect for, and we actually reached out to them before the Kickstarter began.
Mhm.
And we said, is this a line that you think you'd be interested in? And both of them were like super encouraging and super excited about it. But what we effectively told them was, we want this to be a crowd-funded, grassroots project. We don't want a retailer bump. We don't want a retailer to be sort of financially on the hook for our toy line.
Oh, okay.
So you're not going to see a big bump from a retailer that's sort of going to push us over the line. Their pre-order kicks in on April 1st, assuming we fund and assuming there's a company that they can pre-order from. So we're trying to get out in front of this and sort of tell people that this is a true crowd-funded project, and we need collectors to support this, and we want collectors to support this, and we want collectors to be into this. And to that end, we're doing all the videos, and we're replying to as many comments and emails and things as we can. And if you have a question about how it's all going to work, or how it's going to be fulfilled, or anything like that, feel free to reach out, because we are trying to be as transparent as we can, and trying to be as like open and sort of honest as we can. And part of that was, getting ahead of the curve on a retailer bump, because a retailer pays, a toy company less than what a collector does.
Mhm.
And on top of that, Kickstarter takes a percentage off the top.
Right.
And so by the time a retailer kicks in a whole bunch of money, it doesn't actually do as much as if we get collectors, to back the project. So we want this to be something that people are into and people are excited about, and people are kind of sharing and pushing forward. And so we basically just asked the retailers to just be patient and wait, and when the campaign funds and the campaign ends, then we will kind of go back to them and lock in their pre-orders.
Okay. Very cool. Then it's like, all right, price has doubled now. Yesterday's price is not today's.
Now that you know that everybody loves these and wants these, we're renegotiating our terms. No,
That's
not at
right.
all. We're putting tariffs on the. No, we're not. That's not. No, we
Still
want
just
people to
gonna-
have these. Like we genuinely want people to be excited about these, and we want to get these in people's hands as quickly as possible, and for as little, as little sort of money as we possibly can. Not that we're trying to like lose our own money, but we really want these to be competitive with other lines that people are already collecting, and for the price points to be and I think generally people have looked at the price points and been like, that's crazy, and maybe it is, but that's how much it's going to cost us to kind of get these to people. So
Yeah, it's tough, like, to do your first thing, and you kind of want to, you just want it to be successful. Like you said, you want it to get in people's hands. You don't want to just do one big. You're like, I'm gonna get rich off the first thing, and that's it. I'm gonna run away. Like, no, like you get that money, make it back, and then have people who are on board who know what you're about, what you're capable of doing and making, how cool it is, and you want them to keep coming back and kind of build up the brand, right? So it's not like you want to what's the word, kind of gouge people on your first run. It's like, no, let's just make these. So yeah, I totally get that.
yeah, and we to that point too, like we have, and by we I mean Arlin has a lot of rad ideas that there's other lines that we want to do, there's other waves that we want to do, even within Space Zombies from Mars. And people keep saying like, well, what are you going to do next? And it's like, we're going to do this right now. And if you want to sort of find out what we're going to do next, please go to the Kickstarter, pledge, as a few dollars or as much as you want. Yeah, exactly. Wolfmen from Pluto. Like
it's different ones from each planet.
You got to walk before you can run. So we'll, maybe we'll get there. People are like, hey, are you thinking about doing this? Are you thinking about doing this? We're thinking about doing a ton of stuff. But none of that happens if this, doesn't get where it needs to be. And if the support isn't there. So this is what we're doing right now. And if you want to see sort of more from the Nameless Toy Company, please go back to Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think the same with anything you want to support, right? The demand, right, speaks immensely to what's going to be made, and affects if more resources are going to be put into it, if more time, manpower is going to be put into continuing something. So definitely that does help. But I'm going to run off a quick. DK, look at me directly. Don't look at the screen, okay? Space Zombies from Mars. What's on Neptune? Quick, go. 1 second. Something.
He's muted.
The Bears. Sorry.
Bears from Neptune.
Bears from Neptune.
Okay. Did anyone say Mercury?
In the chat? No.
Okay, just Mercury then.
Oh, you're asking me?
It's been you this whole time.
Oh, okay. Baboons.
That's very specific. Are you hoping for that? Like, is that your request?
I don't know.
No, it's
Honestly,
fine. I want it to be like a word association. Jupiter.
Raccoons.
Baboons and raccoons. All right. Okay. I've this is the bit's done. It's over. Jay Center, what's up? He's been a channel member for 13 months. Thank you so much. Says Gremlins from Uranus. Ooh. Okay. You can do a lot with Uranus. Let me not make that a sound bite.
Clip that one.
Dang it. Yeah, I kind of walked into that one. Let's see. Oh, Grump says I'm backer number 53. Hell yeah. But Jay Center, thank you so much for being a channel member. Your support. Hey, you can become a channel member too. You get early access to videos here. You get these special emojis in the chat that stand out in a conversation like this. What can you use for Gremlins from Uranus and such? And you need a special discount code for the online store at toyingaround.ca. Second question, Arlen. This one I kind of want to pick your brain. Davey Sock Rocker, thank you for the awesome question. Are these modern fast zombies or the classic brain eating zombie? Wait, are modern fast zombies, don't they eat brains also, or do they just kill?
That's a good question.
What kind are these zombies? Your zombies?
These ones, I would say they're probably more slow.
Okay.
But each faction of zombies kind of have characteristics that match their faction. So if they're, if the doctor ones kind of like will, whatever it was, what's the word?
Dissect, disembowel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Either of those. More like as if they know what they're doing. And so that's the idea anyways.
Oh, okay. That's almost worse.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
it's not quite have brain
hunger.
There's like a remnant. There's like a remnant of like their past life almost.
Wow. Okay. That's okay. I think that answers it pretty well. No Chewing says zombies, wolfmen, bears. I don't know, TK. You understand that this was not a toy line about zoo animals, right? Like
You know what threw me off is because once we get in zombies and then we went wolfmen and then wolf and then I just thought about animals and that's where I got lost for a split second.
He said it was horror.
I know, but that's why I got lost because once you said wolfmen, I just kept thinking about wolves. So yeah, I goofed up.
Baboons is insane.
No, I do like the idea of a planet full of raccoons.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah, a rocket raccoon.
I mean, there must be some planet that has that, right?
Infinite number of planets out
right.
there.
Yeah. In the what if kind of universe.
Shout outs, Brick is here. Thank you for being here. Tommy K just gifted 5 memberships to the chat. Thank you so much, Tommy. I just kind of explained memberships, but thanks, Tommy. You can give some memberships too. But welcome to the Butter Nation. All right, we're on to the next figure, glow in the dark Kickstarter exclusive.
Cool.
This is exclusive by name, but also exclusive in nature. Your only guarantee to get it right now is to back it in the Kickstarter.
Okay.
Any additional quantities will be hoarded by us, and they will be available. They might be available, if we do conventions or if we do giveaways or a Toys for Tots thing or something like that, or St. Jude's
if you're ever in
type thing.
If you're ever in Toronto and there's like a independent toy convention that might be out there that has extended an invite and always has a free table available for you.
Absolutely.
If any of those things were to line up,
any of those things line up, you may be able to get one of these. But for right now, the only way to make sure that you can get one is through the Kickstarter. These will not be available through online retailers. They were not offered, and they will not be given. So this is truly sort of an exclusive. We are in the minority that thinks if you call something an exclusive, it should be kind of hard to get. You should be able to sort of get it if you work hard enough, but it shouldn't just pop up somewhere 6 months after everything gets released and you just I'll just add that to my cart and away I go. So you will have to work for this one a little bit if you don't back it in the next couple weeks. But you could also just go and back it right now and make sure that you're going to get one.
That's what I mean. You're talking to two Asians. That's what we've been told our whole life. You just got to work hard, and it's not just going to land in your lap. You got to work for it and earn it now. You got to go get it. So I get it, or else otherwise you lose it forever. I like that the backpack on this one is a little bit of a different look. The other ones were more, they had like straps and patches and pouches, like almost like a camping pack, or like a military. Those big loadouts, but this one is more. It's more. A little more sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean this one is the retro zombie and the retro astronaut have a retro look to them. And they are from the first Red Dust mission, so you got to go down there you go. The next two are also retro. But they have sort of a 1960s feel because they're from Red Dust 1, the original mission to Mars. So, they come with the fishbowl. They come with that kind of pulpy 1950s, 1960s jetpack style space backpack, that kind of Buck Rogers or Mars Attacks laser pistol. So there's just kind of a different vibe to these ones as well. And again, maybe you don't like the more modern astronauts, maybe you don't like the more modern helmet or backpack, but maybe this one sort of speaks to you a little bit more. So you've got different options, and all the heads will fit on all the figures. So the astronaut heads, the zombie heads will fit across the line. The articulation scheme is the same across the line, so everything will sort of look and move and function in the same way. And then you just kind of mix and match which accessories you want and what limbs you want, and all that kind of stuff. So
Man, that, like you said, that blaster with the little fin on the back of it, that's exactly the retro look. How come this guy has a Shao Kahn style mask? That's cool. Is he evil? Did he bring that into space? These are just questions that are going through my head. You don't have to give anything away. Spectre.
I mean, we have answered most of those questions. I don't know if Arlin wants to take that one or if Arlin wants me to take that one.
You take it.
I do have the.
It's like an Armageddon. Why did they have a handgun in space? Right?
Yeah.
They were trying to shoot an asteroid. They brought it with them. So was this guy? Okay, there's the mask. Ooh, there's some.
So it's actually more of a helmet.
Helmet. All right.
Ah, okay.
But in the lore, it's referred to as a crown.
So he's some sort of king of some sort. Some sort of royalty. All right.
I mean, we're sharing some things. We're not sharing everything. I mean, he went on a mission in the 60s, but he's in the line, so there must be some sort of interaction when the second mission arrives.
Wow.
I will show his alternate head as well, which is in the shadow there, which is zombie in nature, but certainly doesn't look like most of our other zombies.
No, that looks like he's a well-groomed zombie. Come on.
This one's an intelligent zombie for sure.
We need the baboons from Neptune.
Yeah. Summon the raccoons from
Get on
Uranus.
Get on. That should not crack me, but here we are.
Yeah, DK. The more I think of it, I don't think we're gonna do that one. But
Okay.
no, but it's just fun, and I mean the lore. The deeper you get into the lore, the more this stuff just gets kind of a little bit wilder and a little bit more fun and a little bit more unique. We've been saying, the zombies are kind of like they're kind of more your traditional zombies. They move a little slowly, and but they're a little bit different. The origin story is a little bit different. You asked about the crown, the mask, the helmet. Did he take this with him? No, he did not.
I think it's important when you create a whole new thing, a whole new Kickstarter, that the same way you had to make a TV show to sell GI Joes, right? The play factor, the imagination. I think it's such a huge part, an integral part to accompany the toys itself. Because you can go, yeah, it's an astronaut, yeah, it's zombies, but now I'm asking questions, and you put some of the stuff out there. You're gonna have music. You're gonna have a comic book. I think a lot of that is same with AWOC, right?
Yeah.
They've got Jason's got a whole bunch of stuff with it, so it just I think it's kind of crucial to have that too.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Mr. Ryan Clark. No, I cannot.
No.
These are all paint masters, and if I put the helmet on one of the heads, it'll probably scratch all the paint off, and then Arlin would have to paint another one.
Grumps, I see your question about the articulation. I want to do that at the end once we go through all the characters. So please, Grumps.
Yeah, we have the articulation scheme like at the top of the Kickstarter, and it's all the articulation. So if you're like, hey, does it have this? Yes, it has all of it.
All right. Yeah. To answer your question, all of your questions, yes. We have a Red Walker Retro. It's hard to say. Red Walker Retro.
Yeah. So this is that kind of pulpy 60s Red Walker, and he comes with that smashed fishbowl. So the modern ones come with the modern astronaut helmet with just the visor smashed, whereas the retro one comes with just sort of like almost a collar of like kind of smashed helmet, which is super fun.
I'm kind of torn. I can't. DK, are you leaning one way or another to which era of astronaut for these two?
For me, I like it's the old era one. It's the glow in the dark one. That's the one I like because I really like the alternate skull head. That they have. Like that one.
Yeah.
This dude?
That skull head is articulated.
The glow in the dark one, Kev. Oh, the mouth does move. Yes. All right. Yeah. 100%. I'm in for this one.
Why don't we just cancel San Diego and just
back all in,
back this even more?
Yeah.
It's not that expensive. I mean, that's the other thing is like it's not crazy. Like the all in for all the astronauts and the record and the comic book. Once everything's unlocked, I think it's 500 Canadian for 11 figures and a record and a comic book. Yeah. It's like like I said, we really wanted to make sure that the numbers made sense and that it didn't. It's a wave and a half of Marvel Legends or Classified or something like that. So it's well within the parameters that most collectors I think are pretty comfortable with.
All right, can you give us the backstory on this one? I think this one was the one that caught my eye the first time strolling through everything that's on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, this is Dr. Michael Locke. So he's the sort of leader of the medical faction. He's the kind of nerdy one. He's the collector of the group. He's a lover of books, fiction and nonfiction, and so he actually comes with a book that has a bunch of printed words, and we'll have an actual cover and stuff like that to go with it. And then he comes with that really cool bone saw. That saw bit actually will pop off of there and will be modular, and you can take the claw off of the mechanical arm and put that on there, and so you can kind of swap which parts are on what. So you can put the claw on that little handheld tool there as well. And then you get the zombie part and the additional hands and the tubes and you just get tons of stuff, tons of fun stuff.
This is really cool.
I think this is my favorite astronaut. So that classic kind of white suit with a little bit of gray, a little bit of red. This reminds me of just when I think of astronaut, this is kind of the suit coloration that I sort of lean towards the most.
Okay. Yeah. Alternate heads here. I dig this one. DK, pop quiz. Here we go. Backstory.
Dr. Michael Locke. Mike is a fast thinker.
I don't think it's Spanish.
How do you pronounce it?
Locke.
Just Locke. All right. Okay.
Just Locke.
It's Loich.
It's not just Locke. I mean, it's Locke.
It's Locke. Okay. Mike is a fast thinker and quick on his toes. His job is to keep the expedition safe from disease and medical ailments. His vast knowledge of historical and fictional texts makes him an asset to guiding the colony towards a peaceful future or fighting zombies, whichever comes first.
Very nice. You guys need a voiceover guy.
Probably.
Probably.
I'll put you in touch with somebody else.
Mhm.
All right, Red Walker Medical.
Do you know anybody?
DK, do you know anyone?
No, I don't.
That's so rude. I love it. This is the same, the zombie version of Dr. Michael Locke's suit, right? Medical faction. Very cool. And what is this? Unlocks. Wait, so what Michael unlocks at 210.
No, the next one that's
Oh, that's the next one?
Red Walker. If you go 205, there you go.
Gotcha. All right, that's 210 for the Red Walker Medical. 220 is
The zombie parts pack in. So that's the like the shadowed things that you see with the astronauts and then the alternate heads that you see with the zombies.
okay.
That sort of threshold unlocks those extra parts, that will just be packed in for no additional charge.
Okay. So they're just shown here together, but
Yeah.
the silhouettes and the other figures. Okay, cool. Ooh, Georgia McBride. She's got goggle glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
Just glasses, yeah.
Just normal
And
glasses.
They're just glasses.
I like the
And,
guitar.
Very cool. This is an engineer. These are more of the modern suits, right? With the visor that comes down on the helmet.
Mhm.
All right, I'm starting to see the difference. Oh, hey, by the way, I put a poll in the YouTube chat. If you're here and you're watching live, which zombie type your personal preference? You can vote retro, some of the older ones, modern, or both. I'm getting both. It'd be cool to see what people watching are, kind of personally feeling. Anything about Georgia, Arlin, that you want to point out for people?
Well, I think the cool thing is the ukulele. I used to, I guess, before I got into sculpting, I used to teach guitar building.
Oh,
so
cool.
that ukulele is probably the most accurate ukulele at 1/12 scale. All the frets are spaced exactly and it would play in tune if it had strings, if it was possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. If anyone needs the most accurate to scale, right here, get it here.
Scale ukulele.
Okay, so and then that suit has a Red Walker
Variant.
at 235 Canadian, 165,500 US, and 240 head pack gruesome.
Yeah, so all those heads are all new heads that won't be with any of the other figures.
Okay.
They're some of my favorite. I think they're pretty fun. I think they will be fun once they unlock.
Do you ever, because you have this opportunity, do you ever sculpt in like your friends, family, something like that?
I could,
take
but I
inspiration.
don't. No.
Okay.
But I honestly I think if money wasn't an issue with tooling, I would just sculpt so many heads. I just love doing all the different characters and expressions and stuff like that. So
okay. Okay, so is that all the figures and unlocks?
yeah. There's
right.
also a record in the comic too, which I don't think we discussed.
Yeah, I think we can go through the pledges and then you can tell people about the music, the record. Now I have to find a record player if I get the record option.
Yeah, it's a soundtrack for a movie that doesn't exist, basically. Ira, my brother, and I spent about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, every 2 weeks getting together, recording this, and it's been probably the most fun musical project I've ever done, and I've been playing music since I was 5. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
DK, do you own a record player?
Probably my dad does.
Okay. You can
I mean, you
borrow
can always just put it on your wall too. It'll look really good.
Yeah, I've only recently seen a lot of social media posts of how they make those fancy vinyls, like the different colors, or I don't know, there's like spirally different colors, or there's water inside. Like those things are super cool. I don't even know who thinks to do that. It's like, hey, we should put gold flake in this, or I don't know, like a dessert. And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, in the render, it's purple, but we're actually gonna have a poll. We're gonna allow backers to vote on what color of colored vinyl the Kickstarter exclusive pressing is. Purple is gonna be an option. We're looking at kind of like zombie flesh green,
Ooh.
like Mars red, but it will definitely. I can't say definitely because I don't know who's gonna win the poll, but we're pushing for, like, you know, to have, you know, multicolor and kind of like just something really, really cool, so that even if you don't own a record player, you know, owning this record is going to be something that you can sort of pull out and look at and be like, yeah, I bet it sounds really good.
It looks like it will sound.
But,
I mean, Prometheus
but we're
is
gonna
an
have
awesome
a
name, too.
digital copy too, so you're gonna be able to listen to it even if you don't have a record player. But I think the record is gonna be something that you're gonna want to have in your collection if you are a fan of the line, if you are a fan of the IP. I think owning that record is something you're gonna really appreciate. Unless you miss it, in which case you'll be kicking yourself and you know, having to track down one, and you know, people aren't going to want to give them up, so they're going to be super expensive after the fact. So you should probably get one now.
Yeah, get it PSA graded too when you get it. Not
Yes,
just
yeah,
did
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
record yourselves recording the soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist? That's the movie. Bam.
Damn.
Nigel.
Missed opportunity.
Nigel, always with the great ideas. Okay, so you can back soundtrack and the digital comic. And is the digital comic, like, is it going to give everything the backstory, or is this something that would be ongoing?
There's definitely a lot more in there,
Mhm.
but it is only 32 pages, so there's still kind of more lore beyond that.
Okay.
It's
But
enough, I think.
Yeah. It'll give you a really good framework. It'll give you a really good head start, you know, as far as canon goes, and then it'll give you a really good framework if you want to sort of expand on it and do head canon. I'm hoping that there's like fan fiction that, you know, somebody will come up with that'll go along with all this and stuff. So,
This guy.
but yeah, the basic script, you know, the framework for the 32 pages is all done, and it's cool. I keep asking them to share more. Like, I have questions about the 32 pages, and they just tell me no. Like, you have to wait too.
Guys, original soundtrack plus comic digital. This reward contains 2 items: digital download of soundtrack and the comic. All right, very cool. Off to good. So you can, you know, with most Kickstarters, pledge whatever amount if you want to just support. But you have those options. We have, I guess this is what would you call this, the basic figures, right? Which is just the walker, and the smash helmet. 36 Canadian. What is that, like 20 something US?
About $25.
Okay. DK, do you have this open on your side?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
flip your currency to US and just follow along, or these guys will know. Okay, I think that's actually that's a very good price. 36 Canadian. Other accessories may be included if unlocked. Shipping charges will be calculated as usual. Very cool. Again, so you have the options for each of the individual, and then you have the exclusive glow in the dark right here. Physical record and comic. And then is there an option? Is there usually like an option at the end where you just kind of throw that into whatever figures you back, right?
Yeah, so these are kind of the pledge, you know, reward tiers. I think they call them reward tiers, but then beyond that, you can add in any one of these things. So you can add more figures, you can add the comic book, you can add the record. People have been asking me, and and because people have been, I was kind of reluctant at first to like, we knew we were going to do it, but we didn't necessarily sort of say it. Anybody that backs for anything physical, whether it's, the comic book and the record or figures, you're probably going to get a digital version of the soundtrack and very likely a digital version of the comic book as well, just as a thank you. Just because, the record is done, the soundtrack is mastered and it can absolutely be sent out, at any time. We'll probably wait a little bit. We'll probably wait till, after the backer kit starts, after the poll for the record goes out and things like that. But, you will be getting things between now and when the actual physical action figures arrive in your mailbox or on your porch. So, we want to make sure that people are still kind of engaged and you're going to hear from us between now and when the figures arrive. So
beautiful. I have to rip my own MP3s.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the basic, sorry, not the basic. So you have your main characters, right? And Kickstarter layout is so strange. Like double
It's
scroll.
so frustrating,
right? Make it
and
easy.
there's not an option. There's not like a better option where it's
No.
like, hey, do you want to like manipulate any of these elements? It's like, no, here's the format. You do it this way.
Right.
Anyway.
So single figure, and when you look at the pack out, up here, and hopefully you hit the unlocks and really max out what each one comes with. 57 US comes to about
$40 US.
TK, that was your job, man. I set that up for you.
I couldn't find it.
What?
No, I could have converted it. I should have converted it, but I was trying to find where in the Kickstarter you changed the thing.
It's at the bottom of the page. Like you scroll all the way. It's all right.
I love doing this in Canadian because it's actually, I've been looking at it in US dollars
Yes,
the whole time. And so I'm like, man, that's expensive. And then I'm like, oh, it's Canadian dollars. Oh no, okay, yeah. If you scroll down and change it to US dollars, he's doing his math.
Oh, I don't
Let's
have
do
the
math
currency
again.
exchange. It's like 1.5. All right. So those are for the figures with all of the accessories, the main characters.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty cool, especially with all the accessories, all the parts, right? Even the arms are articulated, things like that. Moving helmet, or you can get a two pack of walkers. Make a combo, one of each, right? And then do you get to choose astronaut plus walker? Which faction or each one, right? That you want?
Yeah, so with the ones where you're kind of picking the figure, it kind of locks that figure in for you. For the bundles where you get, two red walkers or an astronaut and a red walker, or two astronauts or four astronauts and four red walkers, or whatever bundle you pick. In the backer kit, you will basically choose the figures that you want. So if you want, all science, you want all blue suits, you can absolutely choose that. If you want a mix of all of them, you can do that. The only exception to that is if you choose one of the all-in reward tiers. So we have an all-in reward tier right now called Prepare to Launch, I think is what it's called. I forget now.
Failure to Launch. No, that's Jennifer Lopez movie.
Fantastic.
Prepare to Launch. Prepare
to launch.
Prepare to launch.
So the Prepare to Launch bundle is a no substitutions bundle, meaning you get one of everything in the initial Kickstarter offering. We will have another all-in bundle called All Systems Go, which will be the same thing. It's a no substitution bundle that you will get one of every one of the figures and the comic book and the record. And so if you're sort of all in on the line in sort of the truest sense, that'll be the best price.
Okay.
Based on sort of price per SKU. But if you're like, I want this astronaut suit or this, zombie color more than an all in, you can absolutely pick the bundled versions and those will be pretty good prices too. As a general rule, the more you go, like the deeper the tier, the astronauts and the zombies are already, below what the MSRP is going to be. But then as you go along, you're basically knocking $1 off per figure. So if you get 2, you get $1 off per, so that's $2. And then if you get 4, it's $2 off. So it's, I don't know. The math made sense, and it took me way too long to do the math on that.
Collecting Brother says I backed prepare for launch. That's awesome. Quip says 260 Canadian is about 182 US. That's not bad for the all-in bundle. I mean, with the record, a physical too. So that's a fantastic price.
Yeah, the all-in for everything, I think, is 500 Canadian. It's about 350, a little less than 350 US for one of every figure that we plan to unlock.
Man, I hope you guys hit those unlocks, because there's some really, really cool characters in there too. Hell yeah. All right, so we got the articulation here. Grumps had a question: does this have butterflies? So do you want to start with that and then kind of go through everything else? Who wants to who's most well suited for this part?
Arlin.
Okay, yes, it has butterflies. It has
Next question.
You want me to go through all the articulation?
Sure. Just high, I guess high level. You don't have to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
It's got like a ball and disc in the head. The neck joint is on a ball. The chest is a ball, like a rocker. The waist is a rocker. It's got drop down hips. It's got thigh cuts, which it's hard to see there, but I sculpted some of the bands and stuff where the cut is, and it's not 100% round, but it's fairly round. So like there's not much overlap. When thigh cuts, you turn them and there's like a huge weird offset. There's not as much on there. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, trigger hands go this way, C grip goes this way. There's Beautiful. Shin cuts, ankle rocker.
All the articulations.
All the things. There's the bicep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm missing anything, but
double neck is cool. Do you have any like, you have paint masters? Like, do you have any prototypes or anything like that at the moment?
Adam does.
Why does Adam get to play with all the cool stuff?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. I
He's
can't
like,
answer
I don't
that.
know either.
Arlen was like, should I send these to you? And I was like, yep.
It's because I have 3 kids and I'm worried they're going to break them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That looks fantastic.
That's Spike Spectre. So these are like the 3D printed, figures. And then these are paint masters. The paint masters have been painted. The bodies have been painted by Jason Bienvenu of Spiro Toys. Arlen did all the heads.
I did the green ones though, the green bodies.
Yes, that's true. And then just to sort of speak to that point that Arlen was saying about the legs. Let me see if this one will come up. So you can see where this is sculpted,
right?
That it rotates, and like you don't get a break in the sculpt when you rotate the leg.
Just the paint.
And you just get an interruption in the paint, and it scuffs, and you break the pins off and things, and then you have to glue them back together, and nobody's the wiser. But that's the point where now this is a terrible example because of the wrong leg and the wrong color, but that's where you'll sort of swap the leg off.
Okay.
If you want to,
right.
And then the same is true at the bicep swivel. However, these are attached, and I'm not I'm not going to take it off to show you. But so this guy, just as an example, comes with that arm, and that arm would just swap on at that sort of connection point. And again, when you rotate that bicep, it's not perfectly round, so there is a little bit, but it's molded and sculpted very, very well, so that you're not going to really see an interruption in the sculpt.
I just want to make sure, because sometimes it's hard to tell through cameras and lighting. Is most of the suit like a matted paint color? Because I see like the upper chest area is very shiny, right?
Yeah, there's a mix. So most of the suit is matted, and that'll be true of all the astronauts. There's a sort of a gloss to the secondary, which is it's a secondary piece that fits over top of the buck. It's the bracers are, I believe, and if Arlen can correct me, but also I want them to be like a gloss for those parts.
Yeah,
And
they
then
are.
there's like some gloss on the boot. And there's gloss on, some like basically all the spots that would be like an anodized metal or something like that will be glossy, which kind of is in line with, what you'd see on an actual spacesuit from the 1960s. No, but from like the modern stuff too. And I'll hold up a modern one as well, so you can see. So that's the modern suit. So this is a
Nice.
secondary piece. These are the little plugs, like I said, that I gotta hold it in front of my face so it focuses on her. These pop out and you can plug the arms in there, the hoses or whatever whatever you want. There's sort of different secondary pieces that plug onto the belt as well.
Oh, those pouches?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
here, let me.
You don't
This
have to take
isn't
anything apart. I think I can
this isn't the most
imagine.
up-to-date version, but you can see he's got a holster on his hip. Which actually isn't accurate because now it goes on his thigh. But just for the sake of sort of seeing different things.
Mhm.
And then if we go back to Spike, the pouches on his hip, it's like a double with a snap versus like a single with Velcro or something for the more modern version.
That one, the one on in blue, is she the one that had a camera?
Yes. Yep.
Because that looks like an old like point and shoot camera pouch.
Yeah, you got an old like Nikon camera or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's that weird
more like that.
synthetic leather with the
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
fuzzy
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
inside.
yeah, yeah. It's you don't want to scratch up your
Mhm.
your camera out in these streets.
Here, I'll show this. This one's fun. Just give me
Mr.
a
Ryan
sec.
Clark, shout out to Mr. Ryan Clark, says I just increased my pledge. I believe in this line. Hell yeah.
You know what? Shout out to Ryan Clark, like for real from us too.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan Clark, White Vegeta, Josh Brown, like Collecting Brothers. Like there's been a bunch of people that have been like super supportive,
Mhm.
sharing posts and like sharing different stuff. Yeah, so that's one of the sort of shadowed parts. You get that head with not head, neck with no head, in fact.
It's clearly no head, Adam.
Clearly no head.
It's been pulled
And
off by clamps.
yeah, and those are yeah, it actually goes, I thought of that too. Goes really well with this head. Because you get sort of one removed from the other.
I love that like the eyes are bulging out too because the head's being compressed.
Mhm.
That's a cool detail.
I showed this last night, I think, over on Allison Troy's channel while I was doing some coloring. But this is George
Whoa!
McBride's zombified head. So let me
really
rotate
impressive.
around.
That's not on the render, is it?
Nope.
Yeah,
That thing
Well,
looks
it's
so
not.
good.
this one's
She's
really
got an
good.
eyeball kind of hanging out.
That's
And again,
very complex. It looks like.
that's an articulated jaw.
Wow.
And the jaw is removable, so you could have a jawless figure as well. And she's kind of jowly too, so like the flesh is just kind of hanging there next to the bone jaw.
That's gnarly. Great
Pretty
job.
pretty fun.
Great
I
job.
get. I mean, everybody's definition of fun is different, but I think it's fun. I think it's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Hell yeah. There you go. Allison Troy, how's it going? It's epic. Epic, I think, is underselling it. That's I mean, even looking at it as it right, obviously for the story, but as a toy head sculpt, like that looks very, very complex. It's like different layers. There's like little crevices and nooks, and you got to get into there, different colors like that. That is really, really cool. Heck yeah.
No,
And
I've been saying from the beginning that like a lot of the stuff that's shadowed is the most fun stuff. Like it's the stuff that kind of sets this apart. It's like Guy Garrison. Wait, where'd I put it? Guy Garrison isn't just an astronaut with a weapon. Like when you get that alternate Rastafarian head. That isn't the Astrafarian. Somebody referred to it as Astrafarian. It sort of takes on a very different, I was gonna say life, but it's like an undead thing. So I don't know. There's probably a pun in there or something, but with the zombie parts and with the gore parts and stuff like that, like no one's doing this, like you can get action figures and you kind of get like gore parts from third parties, but there isn't a line that has crossed that line and sort of is including as much gory bits as this one is. So
Yeah. Astronauts and zombies, I think from both aspects, this is pretty unique. And when you combine them together like that, but also give people the ability to really kind of choose which parts they want to put on, how you want it to look, where to put weapons, that kind of almost customization, I think is very unique. There's 11 days to go. We need to get more into
yes,
into the
yeah.
hacking for sure. I mean, what other like, do you have more of the world tour, I like to call it, when people have the Kickstarter, like going on different different shows as well too?
So we have we only have one more video scheduled, I think. Purple Gang on Saturday night.
Purple Gang?
Yeah,
Is that
you're
what
not
it's called?
familiar with them?
No.
They're
No, that's a great name.
They are they kind of come from the Mythic Legions Four Horsemen community.
Okay.
And they are wild. They're super, super fun. If you've got nothing going on Saturday night, look up Purple Gang.
Send me the link when it comes up. I'm gonna try and watch it.
So we're doing that. But then I am actually, continuing my world tour in a very physical way. I leave Sunday for WonderCon.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm at WonderCon. So I didn't book anything while I'm away. So to that point, I will share with everybody that's watching and anybody that watches on the replay. I'm probably gonna sort of have we're gonna have an update before I go, because I'm not gonna be in front of a computer most of the time that I'm away, so I'm not gonna be able to update things in real time. So stay tuned to the Kickstarter. Stay tuned to the updates. Stay tuned to the Instagram, because we got a couple announcements in the next couple of days that hopefully kind of push us over the edge.
Very, very cool. I mean, maybe when you're over there, like, do you plan on bringing some with you, or is it just going to be pure Spiro? And in your absence, has Arlin committed to being the face of the company and doing the entire media blitz?
No. So I'm gonna take Paint Masters with me. So I will have Paint Masters with me at WonderCon. So if you want to see these in person, come see me at the Spiro Toys booth. Jason, was like, "Hey, are you taking Paint Masters?" And I was like, "If you're okay with it, I'll happily take them." So I will have Paint Masters at the booth if you want to kind of see these in person and you're in the the Anaheim area. Next weekend, the 28th, 29th, and 30th, I will be there. If somebody reaches out in the meantime and I can swing it and I'm not, in the convention center, I'm happily, able to do another video or two. But I think we've gotten the message out there as well as we can. And like I said, with a couple more updates and a couple more things, we're still confident that we're going to see this thing fund. You always see that spike at the end. So, there's still plenty of time with 11 days to go. Somebody mentioned, and thank you for mentioning it, compatibility with Operation Monster Force. These are going to be made in the same factory as Operation Monster Force.
Oh, okay.
And so head swaps will work. Accessories will be compatible across the line. The White Vegeta mentioned the Fresh Monkey Fiction tie-in. Yeah, stay tuned for that. There's going to be an announcement in the next. We like to tease things so that people can comment when we're doing videos and be like, "I want more. I want to know more about this thing."
Absolutely.
Which is, it's not accidental. I mean, we're trying to get people, excited about this, and sort of the crossover potential. So, yeah, more on the tie-in with a figure that people have seen from Fresh Monkey Fiction before. But yeah, the project manager is Chris Garwich, who works for the Four Horsemen. So we got a great project manager, we got a great factory lined up, we've got everything lined up apart from the funding. And so once the funding is there, the STL files, which are the digital files that you send over to the factory for them to sort of begin the process of making these, will be sent. So we're super excited about what's gonna happen in the next couple weeks, couple months, and we will have articulated samples of these before you know it, and we'll be sharing all that kind of stuff. And like I said, we'll do the poll for the vinyl. People will be picking their zombies, picking their astronauts, and sort of all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're looking forward to the next little bit.
No time for rest, man. A lot of stuff lined up, and
Yeah.
got to get all your ducks in a. Oh, you know what? Ducks in a row. You know, like the green flesh colored record with like red blood splatter. I think that'd be pretty gnarly too.
Correct.
Cool.
That's what I'm pushing that was mine. I was like, zombie flesh with blood.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
makes sense. It makes sense. White Vegeta also says, because you were doing all the sculpting, what's the turnaround time once funded? Do you have like an ETA of when you expect this to be in hand? Once it's funded and goes into production, like, or is that too early to kind of project right now?
Are you pointing at me? All the files
I got this. All right.
It's like jump over. Yeah. All the
Kevin, if you could
files.
ask Arlin to answer this one.
Yeah.
Pass it down.
All the files are sculpted and ready to go. It's basically as soon as we have the money, we can start working on sending the files to the factory and get the check model going. And once we approve that, get into the tooling. I've been in the background for all the Naughty or Nice Santa Claus line, because those are all my sculpts and all my designs. So I'm behind the scenes. I've been working with the same factory. I know how they work, have experience with them. So
okay, that's awesome. So it's kind of I think that kind of experience helps cut down any possible surprises, right? Not guaranteed, but things here and there.
Yeah. So it helps, and I know how they work. I know kind of what they expect from the sculptor. So I can send it to them. They go over it, do all the adjustments for the mushrooms and offsets for whatever, and then I go through and make sure that they didn't screw anything up. And sometimes I got to put details back in, and yeah, we just go from there. So
sweet.
In the factories in overseas.
Yes. Yeah, in China. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so the design is there, the articulation is already sort of sculpted in, engineered in. It's just a matter of making sure that when that gets printed, that it works. So in a lot of ways, we're a lot further ahead than it might seem, because a lot of this has been done in-house, because Arlin's had experience with the factories and things like that. So people have asked us, do you have an articulated sample? And we don't. Well, we do. Yeah, Arlin has 3D printed a version.
I've tested it all. It all works.
it all works, and it's
Nice.
all fantastic. And it's all. But as far as like a check model, we don't have that yet. But that's kind of the next step. We went back and forth a little bit, whether we should get one in time for the Kickstarter or not. And then by the time we decided, yeah, we probably should, we were like, but it's Chinese New Year now, so it won't get here in time. So we kind of screwed up. But we absolutely could have. So that's kind of the next step is sending the files to the factory to get them to do the silicone mold and do a check model and stuff like that. So the whole process, to answer the question, we have sort of set the date of October 2026 for delivery of the figures.
Okay.
And Arlin and I, I don't know if it's because we're Canadian or just because of sort of how we are, in general as people, that we set a very conservative goal. We would much rather, under promise and over deliver, meaning we would rather them arrive earlier than that than say, oh, they're going to be here, by Christmas. And then people are like, hey, it's January. Like, where are the figures? And we're like, oh, well, there's been some delays and they're going to be next year. That didn't sit well with us. So,
but it could still happen.
It
could. You have to be
under promise, over deliver. Okay, let's get back on message here. Under promise, over deliver.
This is why I
but
don't
as
like
far as fulfillment, I think I've seen a couple people ask in the chat, but also other people ask, elsewhere. Fulfillment is going to be done for the US and internationally through a third-party fulfillment company. Yes, there it is. Toy Renzu right there.
Yeah, of course.
The Canadian ones remains to be seen. I'm going to kind of communicate with the third-party fulfillment company and figure out whether it's cheaper for them to do it or for me to just do it from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We can have, a few cases shipped directly to me. I'll pack them up. I'll put, a Jolly Rancher in there, something a little special. I'm also thinking that, like, for the Canadian ones, I might try to get water slide Canadian flag decals printed up, so the Canadian collectors get like a Canadian variant where they can like G.I. Joe back in the day, you'd get like a Canadian flag instead of like a US flag. But don't hold me to that. I'm just, if I go that route, Canadians might get cooler stuff in their reward packages than anybody else does. Because I'm Canadian, okay? If you want me to fulfill your American order, let me know, and I will do that, but it'll cost you more.
You know what? I will have to say, with everything that's going on, there have been people who reached out to me on social media, multiple people, and they're like, yo, I want to apologize for like what's going on. Like, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's happening. And like, that's actually really cool. Cause sometimes, you just might get lost in like all the negativity, right? And all the downside. And you're like, man, and you don't want to fall into that path. Like, America sucks. Like, no, it's not that. It's just a small. So like a lot of people message me like, look, I'm sorry. Some people have gone to an extent where they're like, I wish I could join Canada. Like, so maybe some people might want that Canadian flag from America.
We'll see. I mean, I want to do that because like this might surprise people, but I collect toys. I love that kind of thing. I love the like little things that come along with it. I love the little things that are surprises. I love seeing a detail that I didn't know was there. I love, an accessory that, wasn't necessarily in the listing, but it's there. So water slide. And is Josh Brown teasing me for saying decal? Because
I didn't want to say anything. Decal.
We just call them stickers anyway. But moving on from that, when we take over the U.S., when we annex the U.S., you'll all have to call them decals. But you'll also get healthcare, so it'll work out for everybody.
Canadian Space Mounties. Mounties from were there any planets we didn't mention?
Saturn. I like Saturn. I'm a big Saturn fan, so we might have something from Saturn at some point. But
could you just spend 30 seconds to expand on why you're a Saturn fan?
It's got rings.
Okay.
I mean, how cool is that?
That is.
I mean,
cool.
that's the gist of it. It's got rings. It's just different and unique.
I've just never heard of anyone being a fan of a specific
particular
planet. Yeah, go Mercury. Like, the big foam head.
I love Jupiter.
And then there's people, boo, your planet.
Yeah, your planet sucks. And
then you got.
I always thought the rings of Saturn was like fascinating. Like, why don't other don't other planets have that? Why doesn't, where does it come from? I'm sure there's a perfectly scientifically logical
Science.
explanation, but I don't care.
Go Uranus. What? It's funny every time.
Exactly.
Collecting Brothers says, adjusted my pledge. We broke 40K.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean,
American.
I keep saying this, that like the reason that you do the world tour is because that every channel's audience is going to be different. There's going to be different eyes. John's in every video. Josh is in every video. Like there's a few people that follow us around like groupies, and we love you, like on a keep a distance kind of way. Not in a full groupie kind of way, but it's really cool when people are like, I've never heard of this. How do I, learn more about this? And that's the point, right? Every video, we've seen a little bit more. We've seen a little bit of a spike. We've seen a few more pledges. We've seen a few more backers. And we haven't had a lull. Like we haven't had flat days. Like the curve just keeps going up. And, thank you to you guys for sort of allowing us to come on here and sort of share this.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what it's about for a small independent Canadian toy company just starting out. People don't know us that well. Our reach is only so far, and so this is the kind of thing that we need to do. I would continue doing this for months if we could just kind of keep on the trajectory. But that's not how Kickstarter works. So,
and your wife wouldn't be into that.
And my wife would probably not be into that either. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even when you mentioned what's the Saturday stream?
Yeah, Purple Gang Gang.
Purple Gang Gang. I mean, like there's so many. The internet is huge. There's so many toy shows that even that I'm obviously not even aware of. So it's hard to know everything, right? And so it's cool when you go into another channel, into another show, and you see some familiar names. Like those are the hardcore people that are, the ride or dies that's going to be with you everywhere you go, every city you play, right? But you do have to kind of reach, in the sense that we don't know all those shows out there. All those shows out there don't know your project yet, unless, to me, it seems like, how many people actually go to Kickstarter website and they go, hey, show me a new toy Kickstarter that I can back, right?
Yeah.
And then from that percentage of people who connect with what you're making, right? So, it's not like an eBay marketplace. People go and, they know exactly what they're looking for. So it's like, it's kind of hard. So you got to do the world tour. Davey Sock Rocker says, I'm here because I dozed off during toy anxiety interview. It happens. So thank you for being here. The YouTube poll says 50% vote zombie, retro zombie, 13 modern, and 37% getting both.
Nice.
So that's very cool. Is there anything you feel like we might have missed tonight that you want to really kind of hammer home?
It's I don't know, if there's something that we're missing, I apologize. If there's something I'm forgetting, I apologize. As I said, we're out there. TNT Co on Instagram, the Nameless Toy Company on Facebook. You can message in the Kickstarter. You can message me on Highly Articulated on YouTube and or Instagram. Like, if you have questions, if you want to know more, reach out, ask questions. If there's more pictures that you need, or a description or an explanation of, how something works or what something is or isn't, we're here for it. I know that even within the chat, I'm sure, among the viewers, there's probably people that are watching that maybe don't want to chat or, whatever. Maybe it's on the replay. Reach out. We're an open book. We're trying to be as transparent and sort of forthcoming as we possibly can. I keep joking, we put all that stuff behind shadows, but like, if you look through Arlin's Instagram, like most of that stuff is there and it's been there for months, and people just haven't sort of dug deep enough or whatever. So we're trying to like share everything and get it out there. It was really just more a conversation starter and sort of a a starting point for the conversation and the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're just having fun, and we think this toy line is fun, and we hope that other people will see it that way too.
Yeah, I think that there's already like a pretty good following of people who are very interested in this, and just got to keep putting the word out there. So that's what we're trying to do here tonight. All right, yeah.
And somebody asked if I'm going to be at WonderCon all 3 days. I will be there all day, every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Arlin will not. Arlin will be on the island
Of
Vancouver.
right, very good. I'm just trying to go through, make sure we didn't miss any important questions. Space Bears from Earth is different. Do they come with helmets on?
Yeah, they have
they
suits. They just
intelligent?
never got anywhere.
Yeah.
No, to that point though, because DK got on sort of an animal kick. We mentioned that these figures will be made in the same factory as Fresh Monkey Fiction. Fresh Monkey Fiction within the next little bit will have the like a werewolf head, so a wolf head, as well as an ape head. So you can have so DK can have his animal astronauts.
Yes.
I'm excited about it too.
don't
I'm like pre-ordering Fresh Monkey Fiction figures to use the heads on astronauts.
That is
What thickens?
that is hilarious. All right, let's go. We'll just round it off in the next 7 minutes. If anyone has a few more questions, feel free to type them into the chat. But in that time, Adam, what are your latest toy pickups?
So my latest stuff, or the stuff that I had to unbox, if we got that far, but I guess we're not.
Let's do one now. Let's do one now in the 7 minutes as you speak. Go.
I want to spend more than 7 minutes on most of these, but I have the last of my Necronominus Wave figures to open, which is this one. Not because he's my least favorite, but just because I opened everything else so far. I was gonna open my Sexy Rat King.
Ooh.
Because I'm super excited about that. We got Best of Both Worlds. Sexy Rat King, not my Rat King. Then they came through. Super 7 came through, gave us Disgusting Rat King plus Sexy Rat King. Super 7 again. I got the Deluxe Lino.
Where'd you get that one from?
This is from ecollectibles.ca.
Oh, he has them? I was looking for that.
He doesn't have this one anymore.
I was looking.
He has
in
Monkey in. And I still need to get Monkey in. I think I'm gonna get these ones. The price point, my kids play with my Super 7 Thundercats, but these ones at this price point, I can much more easily hand these to my kid. And I also Walmart had this on like a crazy, price.
Ooh, how much?
I think they were $40, which is like half price.
Oh, that's really good.
That's very good.
Canadian.
I have 2 of those.
So I got a hallway, and I'm probably going to get another hallway to connect to this hallway. But yeah, I actually ordered that when I pre-ordered my G.I. Joe Classified Crystal Ball. And then I felt like there was something else. No, I think that's it.
Okay. DK, did you have any pickups?
I picked up.
I got you. Just focus on your toys.
Okay, cool. I picked up finally Universe was it Transformers Legacy United Ramjet.
What's the name of that line?
Legacy United. United.
Legacy lives. I love it.
I did it. Yeah, Ramjet. So this came in a 2-pack with Dirge before. And then it was an exclusive, it was an Amazon exclusive, and then not a lot of people were able actually to get it. Like a lot of people never got their orders, and then they started releasing it, separately. And then now I completed all my cone heads. So
Amanda said, "Is there a chart that we can see that curve?"
Yes, and I keep forgetting Brian Brink, who has done.
Oh yes.
I have a Brian Brink chart. Can I let me find it and share it.
Put it in the private chat.
Oh,
like the pledges.
Yeah. So Brian Brink is awesome. Brian Brink does all the charts for Geek Dad Life.
Right.
With the progress, and I reached out to him and I was like, hey, would you be willing to do one for us? And he did, and I just never share it anywhere, and I feel like such a jerk, because
You must have really hated what he sent you.
Yeah, no, I put it in the private chat there. No, it's more that, like, I just get excited about the toys and I talk about the toys, and then the chart never ends up on a screen. So Brian Brink was nice enough to do the chart for us. And
this has me feeling like work.
yeah, I know. There's a spreadsheet to follow. But no, you can see, like, we haven't had a lull. Like, it just kind of keeps going up. Like, it's just a steady climb, which is amazing. Like, we're super appreciative of the fact that people are continuing to sort of like buy into this and join in and participate. There's no denying that we definitely need a nice big spike at the end, but we're going to do everything that we can to get this thing across the line. So, there's no spreadsheet. I take that back. I wish there was.
No,
there is. There's a lot of
what?
spreadsheets, but they're like back end numbers that I'm not
don't
necessarily going to share, but
all right.
I love spreadsheets.
Darth Gutierrez says, I'll stop by your booth. That's awesome.
Nice. I'll I think I still have some Space Zombies from our stickers, so I'll try to remember to bring those.
Perfect. Jason says DK needs to bump up his Marvel Legends collection. All right. I got this week, before we get out of here, I won a prize pack from the Between Two Sentinels. So I got a thank you, J Shot and Matthew. I got a Joy Toy TMNT Foot Clan Foot Soldier. They have two versions. So this
nice.
is cool to go.
Did you get the turtles? Did you get the
Shredhead?
Nice. Yeah.
Bebop, Rocksteady, and I got the 4 turtles over there. I can't move anything more. But they got Pop Culture Coffee. What? And then there's a can. There's another drink, like it's a cold brew. Oh, here it is. Cold brew in a can. And it's Leonardo.
Shell shocked. What is it? Shell shocked sugar cookie.
Sugar cookie.
Cold
brew. It's gonna taste like leadership.
I told I have a Ninja Turtles chat, and I said, I was like, he's a cold brew because it's just kind of bland. It's kind of bland and boring. You don't really get the strength. And Kyle's in that chat, and he said Donnie is espresso, and Donnie's his favorite. So I kind of gave him a chance. I'm like, oh, why would he be espresso? He goes, because it's something that if he's working overnight building stuff, you'd want that drink. I go, okay, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
So
Donatello is the best. I mean,
I guess that's
a fact. I'm not even. That's not even my opinion. That's not a preference.
To wrap it up, and
that's a statement of
all the farcical things you've said tonight. That is the most egregious. And
within the Nameless universe lore, Donatello is the superior turtle.
And then earlier today, I built one of these Blockies model kits, and I got the Megatron and put it.
Those
together.
Are cool.
Dude, people are going crazy over those things. Hey,
they're pretty easy to build. May not be at the level that some other people are capable of, but for me, incredibly fast. I actually did this, no joke, without the instruction sheet. 99% of it. This cap was missing, like under a piece of paper, so I couldn't stick the blast on. But it's a model kit, but the joints are pretty tight and sturdy, and there's some pretty good articulation in the size, and they have different scales too. So you can get a smaller kind of kid size one with a more like fun chibi style look. There's this, and then there's like 2 tiers above it too. So
man, I think I need to pick some of those up.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're pretty fun to pose too. I think there's extra hands. And And so like when you're talking about articulation, Arlen, like when you're putting this thing together, you can kind of see like where the articulation points and how everything works.
Yeah.
So when you like every point that you pop in, that becomes something that you can rotate and almost like if this were a bicep cut right here at the elbow joint and things like that too. So it's a lot of fun to build and really kind of and
Cool.
test out with these.
I think the best thing is that like you'll never catch Kev, you know, with the transformer that transforms, but non-transforming transformers, he's all in on it. Seems like
They're,
which I
they're,
love.
mean, they're fun. These are cool.
Yeah.
They really caught me off guard with these.
Yeah.
And then from the same company, I'm doing a review for this, but I'll do a
Oh
little,
yeah.
little sneak peek for everybody here.
I bet they'll be at WonderCon. Hey, that company. I gotta see if they got a
Walking?
table. I gotta go hit them up.
Yeah, go check it out. All right, friends, that was a lot of fun, and I want to thank you guys. Let me properly do this. I want to thank you guys for coming on and telling us about obviously the project and everything that goes into it. But Arlen, a little bit of your backstory too, and the inspirations, everything that kind of influences the product that people will see on screen and hopefully not too far ahead into the future in hands as well. Go check out the Kickstarter. I'm gonna post a link. Oh shoot, I posted the link in the YouTube video description, so just to make it easier for everyone if you want to click to it from there. But go check out, like Adam said, the Nameless Toy Company on social media to keep up with all the updates or everything that Arlen has revealed from his work on his IG or everything he's posted there. Anything that I missed, gentlemen?
I don't think so.
The campaign runs till the end of the month. Runs till March 31st at midnight Eastern time. So make sure you go over there, before too long and get a pledge in. But yeah, we're excited about this. We're excited about the future and what's next. But we're happy to have had the opportunity. Thank you guys for letting us kind of chat
thank
about
you.
this.
No,
Hang out.
It was wonderful to
fun.
have you two on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's fun to talk toys and support a Canadian action figure company. I think it's super cool. DK, anything else? What do you got?
After the show, Kevin and I will be going to film episode of What I Miss. And yeah, you can find me at Ridiculous on IG, and then join patreon.com/toyingaround. Right?
Happier. No, say it again. Happier.
Join patreon.com/toyingaround.
Right.
You get new exclusive videos and early access and ad free. Also, you get watch alongs via Discord. Kev, did you finish Spider-Man yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet, right?
I was gonna say this
the
Sunday.
new
but we
animated
have-
series.
Yeah.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's really good. But we
Yeah.
did a watch along and we have like 4 episodes left. But I want to do it this Sunday, but we have the toy show, so it's gonna be kind of tight. But right now on Patreon, I have a video. We got an interview with Laz Alonso, who plays MM on The Boys. And so it's a really cool video. It's already on there if you're already on Patreon. If not, you can sign up for a free trial, check it out. And help support the content here. But everyone, thank you so much for watching tonight. Adam, Arlen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
DK, yeah, absolutely. DK, I'll see you soon. Everyone, have yourselves a great night and keep toying around. Peace.
Pluto's a planet, right?
Baboons from Pluto. That's the theme song right there.
In our hearts, Pluto is still a planet.
Spin-offs, baby, spin-offs.
Spin-offs.